broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello everybody, you are watching and listening to AfterBuzz TV's concert experience. I'm Jason Ikeler.
Hey guys, I'm Heather Joy Smith.
Before we get started, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and if you're listening on iTunes, subscribe there as well. We got to get started today because we have a very special group of guys here. Over 22 million albums sold. This is their new single, Baby Love. Please welcome Grammy-winning All for One.
Hey.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
So we were on a little bit of a hiatus. Back after 5 years, does it feel good?
Yeah. You know, the thing is, we've actually never really left. We haven't recorded in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we've been touring all this time, and but it's always good, like when you have a new project and you have new music to share with the world and something different to say. It is really like a pretty cool, exciting thing.
Does it get old singing the same songs over and over and over? I can imagine.
No.
No?
It really doesn't.
It's been 20 years, you guys.
Yeah.
Shows we still might have a job tomorrow.
Right.
That's good.
True.
That's good.
Good point.
Yeah.
So since it has been 20 years, we want to know what you guys think of the music industry today. So we're just going to throw some random questions at you.
Okay.
Just say first thing that pops in your head.
Okay.
Favorite boy band of the last 5 years?
NSYNC.
NSYNC?
No,
No.
they haven't
last
been around
5
5 years.
5 years.
I think
I'm
the
sorry.
only one really is
One
Direction.
Direction.
Yeah,
One
One
Direction.
Direction.
Big fans, obviously.
And no, they're very talented.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
really
actually,
are.
I love the Story of My Life. That song,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a
record.
good one.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good one.
So do your kids listen to One Direction?
yeah.
Do you tell them, like, Daddy was in a huge boy band?
No, they know because you
Okay.
know what? They've gone to the shows with
Okay.
like they've
Right.
literally
They get it.
grown up. You know, so
Okay.
Last song you guys downloaded.
I downloaded Janet Jackson's song this morning.
The new one?
Yeah, No Sleep.
Okay.
I like that record.
What about you guys?
John Legend's. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
All of Me.
Thank you.
I think the last one thing I downloaded was our album.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Nice.
That's all right. That
I
makes
buy
sense.
my own album. I don't know why. I just do.
You should.
know.
Just support.
Okay. Thoughts on Taylor Swift and Apple Music?
I like Taylor Swift. I think she's an amazing songwriter.
Yeah.
She's a great artist, and I'm actually
Extremely
glad.
smart.
Yeah, I'm glad that she's been standing up for artists
Right.
because, you know, the hardest part about it is when we started, artists didn't have the type of freedom to be able to be independent and to say I'm not doing this or I am doing this. And now that's one good thing about the music business that has changed is you have a lot of artists now who have the ability to say, hey, it's my label. And I'm not giving you my music unless you treat me fairly, you know. So
I like that.
Jason clearly wrote this next one, you guys. Miley Cyrus or Demi Lovato?
Oh,
ooh,
Oh,
you know what? I'm kind of biased because my daughter loves Demi Lovato.
oh
so
okay,
Demi-
perfect.
He's
She's
totally
got
Demi.
good taste.
yeah, I'm Demi too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, all across the board. Okay, should MTV play more music, or do we like the direction they're in?
Well, it started out as a music channel.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
called music television. I just think it'd be nice if they actually played some music.
Me too.
Right.
Absolutely.
We feel
All
the same.
around the
I know.
board.
Okay, good.
Does a Grammy mean the same now as it did 15 or 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
it's
it does.
it's the award to win.
Right.
As well as, you know, what's also really dope is like when you look at someone who actually wins a Grammy, especially their first one, just look at their record sales for the next couple months.
Absolutely.
There's a spike because now it's been validated.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That's cool. Do you guys still buy albums, or are you just single based?
I'm an
now?
album guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
bought
everyone wants
Dr.
the
Dre
whole
the
thing.
other day and Jill Scott, and I still like to buy records.
Do you think that's harder when you're making music now as opposed to 15, 20 years ago that people don't buy albums? Does
Yeah.
that make you try harder? Do you keep that in mind when you're in the studio?
Well, you have to, you know, because it used to be back in the day that you would buy an album and you would put it on and hit play and listen all the way through. without skipping songs.
Yeah.
And then it was around 95, 96, around our second album, they did away with CD singles. So they made you buy the album. I think that hurt the business because, you know, you'd buy this album for $18 and the only song that was good on it was the single and everything else was whack. And now we're kind of back at that point where people can preview the song and they can choose whether or not they want to buy the whole album, which means you do have to bring your A game and you have to create a great body of work from song 1 to song 10 or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
So has your process changed at all over time, or have you guys still sort of done the same thing each album that you create?
You know, I think you have to change a little with the times. Absolutely. You know, but for the most part, you know, as far as when we're sitting down to write some music, you know, you got to kind of look at where your life is at that moment and what is it you want to say, because, you know, as you grow and get older, it's like your thoughts on the world, on music, everything changes, you know, and you kind of have to reflect that, I think, when you're doing, you know, whatever your next project is.
Makes sense.
When you guys went into the studio to create this latest album that you guys have some old stuff, you have some new stuff. What was your thought process behind doing that, and what, when you guys got together to come up with the new stuff, what was your thought process for that?
Well, a couple things. You want to take it?
No, go ahead.
I like to talk, as you can see. Well, you know, it's our 20th year anniversary project. We wanted to create something special for the people who know us, who are our fans, and hopefully the new ones that will become our fans. And so we made a record that was 14 completely brand new songs. And then we did 6 of our greatest hits and kind of reimagined some of them and, you know, redid them and put them all on the album because we wanted to offer people their money's worth, you know, and give them something that hopefully would be a good listen from beginning to end. And as far as the process of just, you know, recording it, you know, after we kind of sat down and kind of thought about what it is we want to say and how we're going to say it, because, you know, as an artist who has, you know, legacy or history or whatever you want to call it, we do have fans that come to want specific things from us. They want ballads like I Swear, but then as an artist, you want to be able to grow and you want to be able to kind of stretch your legs a little. So there's that juggling act of making sure that you keep the fans you do have happy while trying to grow. And so that's always like, you know, that delicate balance that you got to kind of go through. So that's the next thing we do is start thinking about production, you know, how current do we want to be, or how much of a throwback do we want to do, and, you know, and then going through all of that. And then the next is, you know, writing and recording.
So do you guys write mostly in the studio, or do you write when you're out on the road together? What's that process like?
It's a little both.
Everything,
Everything?
Yeah, mainly in the studio though, but I take a studio with me everywhere I go.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I got my cool little setup like you guys have your cool setup here. And not half, but a lot of the record, like we end up recording stuff in hotel rooms. And then I have my own studio, so we go there to finish everything and, you know.
What's the strangest place you've recorded in 20 years?
Probably just hotel rooms.
Okay.
You know,
do those make like the final cuts of the album too?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
I live in Arizona now, so you know, sometime when he goes, I got 4 songs for you to sing when we go to Chicago, you know, be ready. You know, he sends everything to me and we bang it out there in the hotel room.
When you listen to it back, are you like, oh, this was in Ohio at a Holiday Inn?
You like hear his little baby crying.
I know. There's like a prostitute on the. You're like, oh, that was there.
I feel like I Swear is always going to be one of those timeless songs. Like, it was popular, you know, almost 20 years ago, and I feel like if you put it on the radio, it'd still be popular today. But obviously the R&B sound has changed over time. How do you guys feel like you've had to evolve with your sound as well?
Well, yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, it has changed. But the thing is, it's like, for us, we know who we are as artists. We know what we're good at. We know our strengths. And it's like, you don't want to stray too far away from those things. But then you do want to grow. And you do want to, you know, do something that hopefully not only your original fans will love, but, you know, new fans will love as well. So it's like, you know, it's that juggling act of, you know, maybe the production slightly, you know, the drums and the bass will be a little more current, but the piano stuff and the guitar stuff and of course the vocals would be a little more classic, you know, so that we can find a nice blend to, you know, marry these two things together.
So I Swear and I Can Love You Like That are like the two go-to wedding songs.
Oh yeah.
What are some of the crazy like proposal stories that have happened at your concert? I'm sure there's got to be lots.
Well, first I'm thinking.
We're losing you. Somebody else talk.
Yeah, you know what? We get quite a few that, and some, you know, I don't know how people get a hold. Well, I guess now with social media, you can get a hold of anybody, and you know, we love it when somebody says, "Hey, I would really love to propose at your, you know, I'm gonna propose at your show," and we're like, "Well, let's set it up to where we bring you guys on stage, and we sing, you know, one of our love songs to them, and then, you know, I mean, that's." We're a part of that. That's, you know, we're part of somebody's memory that's going to be in their mind forever, and it's hopefully forever, and they don't get divorced.
That's so cool.
And then hate us.
Make that memo for my future
Okay.
hubby.
We've got an end.
Yes.
What was I going to say? Sorry, I got really flustered.
Just thinking about her, man.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh, man,
Heather's single
that would
if
be
anybody
so
wants to hit her
cool.
I'll take
Sorry.
over. So 20 years in the making. If you guys look back at your career, what are moments that stand out to you?
Oh man,
So many.
there's so many. I mean, you know, we've been so fortunate, you know, to do some really cool things. Bill Clinton used to love us, President Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Like he had us perform at the '96 Democratic Convention, and then when he won that year, he had us sing at the Arkansas Ball, which, you know, he's from Arkansas. So we sang I Swear and serenaded him and Hillary as they danced, you know.
That was pretty cool.
And then the Hong Kong changeover was cool when it went from British rule back to Chinese rule.
They invited us out.
we were one of the
That's crazy.
That was
only
that's
American
pretty
bands invited to come do a performance and a concert for that. And so we've done some really cool things.
And I'm sorry.
Well, I say we don't open up for people very often, and we actually opened up for Whitney Houston, and that was amazing.
2000, man, when everybody thought the
Yeah.
computers were gonna like
Take
That
over.
was,
Yes.
that was in
Yeah.
Hong Kong as
right.
well. That was
Oh wow.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah. And we did the Hunchback of Notre Dame. We
Yeah.
did like this whole festival type of thing in New Orleans where Disney just bought out the whole
city.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
It was insane.
Yeah.
amazing.
That's
So
so
it was-
awesome.
Yeah.
You guys have been together for so long, and I hate to say, but a lot of times you see bands break up along the way. What has kept you guys together? I mean, obviously you guys have a great bond with each other, but, you know, that's so rare, I feel like.
You know, I think that for us, it really, at some point, we crossed from just being friends to really just being family.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, my kids know those guys as Uncle Al and, you know, Uncle Tony, and it's like, it really is a family, you know, and, you know, family, you know, they say blood is thicker than water, but we really feel like we all have that same blood.
Yeah.
And we love being on the road together and doing shows together and hanging out and, you know.
Do you guys put pressure on yourselves at this point in your career to sell a certain number of albums, or are you kind of like, we've made our millions, let's just make music for fun?
Honestly, I think that anytime you put pressure on yourself, you end up either being very disappointed, you know, or just stressed. And you know, we've gotten to the point now that we're making music as our living, and that's amazing, you know, and it's fun when you can sing and watch someone smile or see somebody kissing, or, you know, whatever it is, whatever memory or whatever feeling they get from listening to your song and your voice, like, that's amazing. And I think you just have to get to the point, any performer, you know, whether you're in the beginning of your career or the end of your career, where you just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously, because if you do, you just end up disappointed.
Is there anything in your guys' career that you haven't been able to do yet that you still want to do or accomplish? Done it all.
No, I mean,
You know, we haven't been to South America much.
I was about to say,
Right.
we
I'd love
haven't
to go
been
to
there,
South
or like
America.
Russia. Or,
Yeah.
Right.
So there are
Right.
just a few places that I'd love to put a pin in the map.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Where's the coolest place you guys have traveled?
You know, every place has a special.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, every place is cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Japan, but then
Yeah.
I love Australia, and, And
China's wonderful.
Yeah, Singapore. Oh my God. And
Malaysia. I mean,
London.
Everywhere.
Craziest fans.
I think America's got it.
Yeah.
I remember we did a show in Korea, and we were at the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And so we did a lot of promotion to the Army base. And so half of the people that came were Americans. And so we get our concert going, man. We've got people dancing. They're standing in the chairs dancing. We're having a good time. Next thing I know, lights come on. They stop the show. Riot police come in, and they line the aisles. And they were saying to us, like, look, we don't do this here. This is, dancing on chairs and, and all this other stuff. Yeah. Like, no, this has to stop.
We're like, let them have fun.
Right, this is what we do. And half the people here are Americans. Like, we have fun at this show. I said, don't worry. We're going to be good. So, and then finally, after a little negotiation with the promoter and the police stayed.
You give them a couple drinks.
Yeah, the police stayed. We finished our show, and and then everything was good. They were like, "Look, we're sorry, we're not used to this, because it used to be like we go to Asia, man, and we're singing and sweating blood, and and at the end of the show they'd be like." But then in the meet and greet,
the promoters are like, "Oh, they loved you."
They're like, "Oh, that was the best show ever. I clapped." And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's hard when you aren't getting a reaction from them?
Well, yeah.
It really is hard.
Yeah.
Because you feed off of that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, the first thing I do in a show is I look for someone first on the left, in the center, and the right. I look for somebody who's really having a good time to connect with them. And then what happens is when you see somebody having an amazing time, you want to have an amazing time too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it starts to spread. But it's like when you're looking for that and all you're seeing is everywhere, it is hard.
Yeah.
But then after you get a chance to talk to them and you find out the culture and it's changed a lot since. But the culture, it used to be in the 90s that it was just very reserved, most of our Asian fans. And they were having an amazing time, but they just, at the end of the song, and then they'd stop and listen.
Yeah.
What are some crazy things that have happened on stage? I'm sure, like forgetting the lyrics, tripping. There's got to be some stories there.
Absolutely. We were at Disney World, and they set up fireworks, and we're only there for grad night, young kids. And they set up the fireworks, and they go, "Don't go beyond this line after this lyric," or whatever. Somebody, I'm not going to name names, Jamie, he went across the line, and
well, I forgot.
Oh my God,
I forgot. We were doing a song called "The
Disney
Bomb."
now.
Yeah.
Let me point this out. This was Disney. Go ahead.
We were doing a
Disney
song.
grad night.
Yes.
Kids.
Well, here's the thing. It was grad night, but I was 18. Half the graduates were 17.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And they said at the end of your song, "The Bomb," when it goes bomb, we're gonna have all these explosions. So stand back. I forgot.
Oh no.
And we tried to pull
They
them
didn't
back.
know you did.
We tried to save you.
They were like, Jamie.
And he had a choice word to say.
Yeah, started with an S and ended with a T with a big O in front, like, oh shit. Yeah, Mickey Mouse.
All over the Disney speakers.
Oh yeah, Mickey Mouse wasn't happy about that.
And we haven't been asked back.
I wonder why.
You're on a list somewhere.
Oops, my bad.
That's hilarious. So if you guys had to break into the industry today, obviously a lot's changed. You've got to be on YouTube and Vine.
Yeah.
How do you think you would approach it?
I think that's the first thing you have to do. I've actually, when I'm not singing with the group, I do a lot of production and develop artists. And it's like, first we focus on getting great songs and great records. And then, of course, the next thing is the social media part, because now even with the labels, they don't even want to take a meeting with you if your socials aren't where they need to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to come in with an audience and come in with hit songs. So you kind of have to do all the work now for the labels.
Right.
And come in ready to roll. So I think if, because of that experience that we have had, I think, that's exactly what we would do first. Mm-hmm. And in a way, we're kind of doing that because now we have our own label.
Yeah.
And, we're still doing the exact same things, trying to really grow our social media numbers, because of the World Wide Web, you could be around the world at once.
Yeah.
Right.
It used to be like if we went to Japan, we'd go there for 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks we would record Christmas, Easter, Halloween, everything, any kind of program, because they knew we couldn't get back there, and they would have to save that content to play it at the holidays. But now it's like, hey, we want to do an Easter thing. I'm like, all right, guys, come on over. We're gonna go over to AfterBuzz and just record this real quickly for the world. You know, so it's like things have changed. You know, so.
Interesting.
Do you have advice for new artists starting out?
Always. You know, the first is persistence.
Yeah.
And realizing that the word no is only a word.
Yeah.
It's not a gun. It's not a bat.
Right.
You know, it's not a knife. It's just a word. And you're going to hear it a lot, more than you name. But if you're persistent, if you really love what you do, and of course you have to have great music. It starts there.
Right.
You have to have something that people are going to hear and love. And there's no formula. I can't tell you how to make that. I can only tell you to be true to yourself, to really, really work at your craft, to be the best that you can be, and to do your best, you know, and then go from there.
And if you do make it, the one advice we got from Magic Johnson, hold on to your money.
I like that.
That's it.
Yes.
Arsenio Hall show, that was our first show. That
Yes.
was exactly what he said. He goes, hey guys, you guys are great. Hold on to your money.
All right,
That's smart.
Yeah, we're like, yes sir.
So you said that we always wrap up our interviews asking everybody best and worst advice you've been given in your career.
I'd say the best. I remember we did the show with Patti LaBelle, and I remember her, you know, because she's like, especially, you know, being a black man growing up in a black family, you know, she's like that aunt, you know, from the South, like, baby, now listen, you know, and she's like, you know, you're gonna notice that people are gonna tell you that you've changed, but if you just really work on being who you are, you'll notice that it's not you who's changing, it's them changing, thinking they have to treat you differently. You just focus on who you are and you stay that.
That's it.
And I'll never forget her saying that. Worst advice?
Trust us. I think that's the...
Yeah, a couple of those labels. Oh, we got your back. Just trust us. Yeah.
Not good.
No.
Well, on that note, thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you so
Baby
much.
Love is on iTunes now.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, the album is on iTunes, Amazon, Pledge. It's everywhere.
Buy it.
So go
Please.
get it.
And you want to go ahead and plug your socials?
Yes, you can hit us on
Social Security.
Yes. 528. No. Facebook, we are at All for One page. Twitter, we're at all_4, always the number 4, _1. And Instagram is All for One Music.
Awesome. Thanks again. Heather, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all the above, at Heather Joy Smith.
And you can find me at Jason Ikeler, and you can find AfterBuzz TV and all those things at AfterBuzz TV. We will see you guys back in here next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.